with our nation's rapidly growing population, the time for us to future-proof our finances is now. As the saying goes, it's never too late to start planning for our retirement. Are you prepared for your retirement? Are you prepared financially to be able to say that you can call it a day? So how are you going to spend your golden years? Hi, I'm Huang. We've got Ho Siu Ling. Siu Ling's got more than 15 years of experience in personal and family wealth planning, and she specializes in ensuring her clients allocate their finances in a responsible and optimized manner. And maybe Siu Ling can share with us, what does a picture of retirement look like for you?
It means having zero worry about outliving my resources, my finances. It means that I have more than enough to afford the retirement lifestyle that I desire to have. It means that I'm in the pink of health and that I have the option to choose whether I want to continue working because I really enjoy what I do. Definitely not for the salary at the end of the month that I need, but more to kill time. Then I would prefer to do more volunteer work. I would like to serve more in my church.
Okay, financial freedom and the freedom to pursue your passions.
That's right.
But you, when you look at your clients, how many of them are on track for retirement?
I help track my clients for their wealth accumulation. So 85% of them choose to be tracked, while the rest of them, they choose to be more ad hoc. So they will do it as and when they want and as and when they find something suitable. So just like how it works in the army, my husband once told me that, there are pacers, right? The role of a pacer is to accompany a trainee to run. So typically in a 2.4 kilometer run, there can be 6 pacers, each of them run 400 meters per round. So what the trainee needs to do is to follow very closely, to run alongside these pacers, and if he can keep up, that means he can actually achieve his targeted time to finish running the 2.4 kilometers. So for myself, in my clients' financial planning and saving up for retirement, I work as a role of a pacer here. So they can speed up, they can slow down the rate of their accumulation. As long as they allow me to track them, they run alongside me, I can help ensure that they achieve their retirement goals within their targeted time frame.
Yeah, that's a very interesting example. So let's say they are running behind or they're off track. What do you actually do to help them make sure they are back on track?
We will discuss, we will kind of revamp how they could probably speed up in the later years of their life and of their working lifespan, their work lifespan, and make sure that they can still be on track. Yeah, or they could readjust, right, their retirement goals.
Review the portfolio and maybe do a bit of reallocation to make sure that they are on track to achieving their goal. When you look at the biggest barriers when it comes to retirement, what do you find is that number one barrier?
Procrastination. Yes. Most of our clients who have shortfalls, who are not on track for retirement, very often the cause of it is procrastinating in making decisions. So there can be many reasons why they procrastinate. Well, it could be because some of them felt that their retirement goals are very distant. So current obligations like paying off mortgage dominate their bank accounts, bank statements. So current commitments like these, right? Basically, they are very focused on that, and they will hold back and procrastinate in making decisions to save up for retirement.
Yeah, I guess that's understandable because these are the priorities right in front of you, and you want to check them off and just make sure everything's okay now in the short term before you think about the future. Has COVID-19 changed that perception because of the reflection and priorities?
During COVID-19 times, while many people are fearful of the uncertainties that's happening and the job stability as well, so they are holding back in making decisions as well towards saving towards their retirement. While off COVID times, then there will be situations like there's company restructuring going on, that they are very fearful of losing their jobs, their income. There can be situations whereby clients themselves, they are taking a break from their work, or maybe they quit their job to take care of their kids, take care of their elderly parents who are ill, or situations that people just say later, after I have set up my wedding, after I have bought my property, after I've set up my renovation, reasons like that. So they kind of push back making decisions to plan for their retirement. While some of them, they find it a little bit daunting when they realize that they need to save out like $1 million for their retirement. So some of them even come up to me to say that, hey, Siu Ling, I don't think I will live that long. So I don't have to save this much, or I can save it up later.
Yeah, when you think about retirement, it can be very daunting. And maybe, Siling, what's your thoughts on these perceptions between the amount that you need to retire and what they actually need to retire?
For me, I have very few clients who actually think that they need a low retirement income. So if I come across one, I will definitely share with them there's actually a minimum so-called cost of living. So they can't really set that low. That's unrealistic. So for the rest of them, well, every client seems to have an idea of what they want, what they're looking for in their retirement, during their retirement years, their retirement lifestyle. So some of them can be telling me that, I would wish to go for holiday trips like a few times a year, or I would love to still own a car when I retire, or like we, they would like to play golf 3 times a week. So all that adds up. The thing is, they cannot put a figure to it, to what they are looking for.
So we have to sit down and calculate the sums.
That's right. So my role when I come in is to help them put a figure to what they wish to, attain in their retirement years. So with that numbers, before we actually fix that as a retirement income goal, right? I will calculate for them their shortfalls, right? And then we'll go to the quantitative aspect of it all, whereby we do calculations on how much, using a fixed and certain rate of accumulation, right? We will calculate how much per month that they will probably need to contribute to a certain age, right, to attain that retirement goal. So we realized that, I realized that doing this exercise, they somewhat have an idea on how hard or difficult that it will be to achieve that, and how realistic and unrealistic it will be as well. So they will automatically adjust it accordingly to something more comfortable if it's not realistic. And this exercise kind of manage the expectation of how their retirement is going to be, and at the same time it also create a motivation for them to work towards that.
Yeah, motivation is a good point, because it's not just about setting a number like 2,000 or 3,000. It's also the lifestyle you want, what you want to do out of your life.
That's right.
So you have to find your passions. For example, if you want to buy a new car or travel every day, so that will help you to figure out if you really want to spend to achieve those passions, I think. All right, Siling, you've heard about when you should start retiring. How about planning backwards? When should you look at the retirement age? Right now, the statutory age is around 62. Is that when they should start working backwards?
Yes, the current statutory retirement age is 62. So by 1st July 2022, it will be 63. So whatever age my client is at now, I will advise them that they should try to plan for retirement at the age of 60 or even earlier if they can.
So a bit more buffer.
Yes, that's right. So aim high, right? So in this case, like 60 years old, if they manage to hit it, great, congratulations, they reach financial freedom, so they can have a choice to see if they want to continue working. Now they work for just to kill time and not for the salary at the end of the month for survival. How nice that is, right? So if they don't, well, they fall here. Still good, 3 years buffer, 5 years buffer, 63, 65. Yeah, so that's the age max for retirement, and still doable, viable, still possible.
Yeah. So when it comes to planning, right, do you see any trends or differences when it comes to different age groups? Right now, you've got different generations, Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z. Do they plan differently?
Yeah, from what I observe, yes, very differently. So I would like to speak from maybe 2 observations, like maybe from the viewpoint of their enthusiasm towards retirement planning, and also the kind of tools they are usually looking at. So let's start with Gen Z. This group of clients, basically they are from the age of 9 all the way to 24. So clients, my clients of this age group, they are usually family members, right, of my existing clients. They can be children of parents, or they can be siblings of existing clients. So when they first came to me, they are already convinced, right? They are family members, right, to do some form of savings with me. So that enthusiasm, I don't know how to assess. They are ready to do something. Yeah, whether is it something that comes from them or from influenced by their family members, I don't know. So, but they are usually, just started out working or not even working at all. So little knowledge or no knowledge about what's available. So they come to us to ask for advice on what kind of tools. Usually their family members will be sitting in to advise and to listening together to decide even for them. So most of the time they are quite risk averse. So the tools that they will choose are usually lower risk, like endowments and
That's
all.
interesting.
Yeah.
Even though they're younger, they are risk averse.
Yes.
Okay.
Start out.
What's your take on how this younger generation, Gen Y, what's the takeaway here? Because they are in a bit of a sandwich group here because they've got the younger to take care of and also
Yes.
the older generation to take care of. How do you approach retirement planning when they have pressures from both sides?
Right, so Gen Y, right? So they are in this age group whereby most of them are married, they have a house to pay for, for the mortgage, and they have kids as well to take care of. So their focus, I observe, will be more of risk management actually. Yeah, when it comes to me, they want to take care of the risk management side. So to have adequate coverage first, and even if they do some form of savings, well, their focus is more like education funding, right? After they've taken care of that, they actually do retirement as well. So the enthusiasm is there, but only if they can take care of the first two parts, and then they work on the third part. And when they look at that, their risk is usually like moderate to high risk. Yeah, they can have a mix of low and then medium high risk kind of products in their portfolio. So that's quite diversified, I notice.
And also when you look at what's happening with the Gen X clients, what do you do when it comes to retirement planning for them?
Gen X, right? So this group, they are very focused. They are very into retirement, nearing retirement age, right? So their enthusiasm is very high. So they really want to look at whether they have adequate, at this point in time for retirement. They are prepared for retirement. So if they are not, if they have resources, they will want to know how to maximize them, right? To work towards their retirement. So their risk level, however, not as high as Gen Y, I noticed. So their exposure to risk is not that high. So naturally, they will want to down on what they used to do, maybe stocks and whatever, and then they want to do more on like lower risk tools like endowments. Yeah, creating a passive income also.
Here you have it, the first episode of Retirement with Ease, catering for retirement freedom. Stay tuned for the next episode where we find out more on the various types of asset allocation and cash flow planning during retirement years. See you then.